Imagine a machine. It is the most sophisticated technology in the known universe, refined over 4 billion years of brutal evolution. Its sole directive, survival. Yet this exact machine routinely poisons its own gears. It fabricates illusions that alienate allies, constructs traps to manipulate its own kind, and pulls the lever on its own destruction. While we assume self-preservation is nature's absolute law, human behavior often proves otherwise. This timeline shows biological evolution flatlining tens of thousands of years ago, while the complexity of our environment spikes. This gap represents an evolutionary mismatch, modern minds navigating a digital world using hardware stuck in the Paleolithic era. Deception and self-sabotage aren't modern glitches in our mental software. They are ancient features now operating in an era for which they weren't designed. For 99% of human history, truth was a secondary concern compared to status. If our ancestors were cast out of the tribe, they died. Survival relied on inclusion. To protect that status, the brain developed a subsystem dedicated to tactical deception. The prefrontal cortex calculates the risk of truth, while the amygdala triggers the terror of social exposure. When exposure is threatened, the fear center overrides logic. Historically, managing how others perceived you was a more reliable way to avoid starving in the cold than actually being competent. This drive to control the narrative explains why we lie to others, but it doesn't explain why we intentionally ruin our own lives, procrastinating until we fail, or destroying healthy relationships. Inside the ventral striatum, a reward system evolved to hunt for intensely scarce resources. In a world of abundance, this system now short-circuits. When encountering high-risk stimuli like digital gambling, the ventral striatum intercepts data before the rational cortex. The brain prioritizes a short-term chemical spike over long-term stability. In a complex world, self-sabotage becomes a defense mechanism, creating an illusion of control. Failure by our own hand feels safer than trying our hardest and being rejected. If we destroy our own prospects first, the world cannot surprise us with pain. In 1954, neuroscientists James Olds and Peter Milner accidentally uncovered a bypass in the brain's survival programming. They implanted an electrode into the pleasure center of a rat's brain. The rat was given a lever that allowed it to directly stimulate that area. The rat pressed the lever 2,000 times an hour. It ignored food, water, and its offspring, hitting the lever until it died of exhaustion. The biological law of self-preservation was effortlessly overwritten by a mechanical loop. The rat's environment had been engineered to weaponize its own biology against it. Unlike the rat, humans are the only species capable of engineering our own levers. Our modern landscape, social media algorithms, and manufactured conflict is an interconnected grid of these levers. These systems target the mismatch between our Paleolithic brains and modern tech, exploiting our ancient vulnerabilities for status and dopamine. We have built an environment that automates our biological drive for self-destruction. This process is now scaling beyond individual lives through artificial intelligence. We are training AI models on the vast digital record of our own behavior, meaning they are learning our mastery of manipulation, our deep-seated biases, and our history of deception. This creates a recursive loop. We aren't just projecting our darkness onto a digital canvas. We are teaching machines to optimize for the very impulses that killed the rat in 1954. If our data is a roadmap of self-sabotage, the AI we build will naturally follow that path, automating the very behaviors that lead to our own ruin. The next time you tell a harmless lie, or make a choice you know will ruin your tomorrow, ask yourself, are you the one driving, or are you just obeying a script that views your happiness as expendable?